From Nebraska's trusted news source, this is Channel 8 News at 5.
Coming up tonight, after 4 Americans were kidnapped in Mexico and 2 of them were killed, we're taking a look at the safety of traveling to Mexico.
Plus, March is Colorectal Cancer Awareness Month, and one man is sharing his story how a preventative screening could likely have saved his life.
Also, stopping human trafficking in Nebraska before it begins. Good evening, everyone, and thank you for joining us. We're going to have more on those stories in just a minute, but first, some breaking news tonight. A Lincoln man has been shot to death in Grand Island. That's
right. Police say 62-year-old Todd Shearer was found at a stable at Fauner Park this morning. They say he was shot somewhere in the torso.
Police say a person of interest was quickly identified. This man, 20-year-old Logan Horse Hunts from South Dakota, was found sleeping in another tack room in the same building. He was then taken into custody and the investigation continues. In other news now, the new Warhorse Casino held training sessions this week.
It's to help more than 100 of its workers to better identify and prevent human trafficking. Channel 8's Matthew Mittleiter joins us now with more. Matthew?
Warhorse Gaming and its parent company, Ho-Chunk Inc., say they're working to stop human trafficking in Nebraska ahead of the building of casinos and hotels in the state. They say, according to the Nebraska Human Trafficking Task Force, about 900 girls and women are trafficked every month in the state. One of the experts leading the training for Warhorse staff was Lynette Graybull, who is also the founder of the Not Our Native Daughters, which focuses on collaborating with communities to prevent trafficking. She says when she started her organization, there was no one focused on helping the indigenous victims, and she wanted to help impact that through education of tribal communities.
Most casinos contact me after they see it implemented in their casino or their hotels. So for Warhorse and Ho-Chunk Inc. to be such ahead of the game, to get their staff, to get their leadership and their execs trained, I'm really inspired by that.
Advocates say when it comes to preventing trafficking, being proactive is important. They say traffickers will often build relationships and groom people both online and in person, and by the time they realize they're being trafficked, it's too late. One organization said only 1% to 2% of trafficked individuals are ever recovered, so being aware of what human trafficking is can prevent it from happening before it begins. I'll have more on this story at 6 tonight.
All right, very important topic. Thank you, Matthew. Millions are living with the burden of problem gambling here in the United States.
Choices Treatment Center here in Lincoln is working to help those who are struggling. They say large sporting events like March Madness and the NCAA basketball tournament, which you can still access online in Nebraska, cause Americans to wager millions. With the option to bet on large events within the state at casinos, those suffering from problem gambling are at a higher risk.
That is a big concern of ours, and it's already a concern with other forms of gambling. So you can find online casinos right now that you can download on your phone or on your computer. The part that is most problematic about that is the isolation and the ability to lie about it. Obviously, more availability could lead to more concerns. However, those concerns have already been there.
Choices Treatment Center is neutral on the topic of legalized gambling. They want to ensure those struggling with addiction just have options and resources. You can visit our website, klkntv.com, for more information.
Let's talk about the weather now. A mix of some snow, some rain earlier today in our area. Are we done? Let's go to Chief Meteorologist Rusty Dawkins with the latest. Rusty?
Accumulating snowfall, yes. We could see some patchy drizzle out there on and off throughout this evening, but for the most part, we're basically past this one. There is another wave headed our way, though, as we head into the weekend, but right now it's just cloudy, cool. This is Shones Roofing and Beatrice at 6th Street and Perkins. The traffic is flowing smoothly, a lot of cloud cover, and cool temperatures. 38 degrees in Beatrice, also 38 in Wymore, 36 in Nebraska City, 37 in the capital city, touch cooler further north, 33 in Columbus, 31 degrees in Broken Bow, 29 in Thedford, still in the 40s in a couple of spots like McCook at 41 degrees. So the cloud cover is starting to thin out a little bit, but you can see just every now and then a white dot shows up here and there. There could be some patchy drizzle, a couple of snowflakes lingering as we head through the early evening hours, but I think most of this is trying to get on out of here. So temperatures will slowly fall to around 30 degrees as we head towards the evening hours. We'll say 37 degrees by 6 p.m. with mostly cloudy skies. Maybe a peak of some clearing as we head into the evening. Northwest wind, though, pesky at 10 to 20 miles per hour, so 34 degrees will feel more like the middle 20s and then dropping to around 30 degrees by 10 o'clock this evening with mostly to partly cloudy skies and that northwest wind at 5 to 15 miles per hour. So that's dropping off just a little bit. We are going to see one quiet day. Friday looks to just be kind of a gray. We might even see the sun a little bit on Friday, but more rain chances by the weekend.
All right, thank you, Rusty. Well, snow was still coming down this morning when police were called to a 4-vehicle accident here in Lincoln.
It happened a little after 7 a.m. at 13th and South Streets. Authorities have not confirmed, though, if weather played a role in the crash. Police say at least one person was hurt. However, they have not explained the severity of those injuries. Now to Gage County, where slick roads kept authorities busy this morning.
Here's a look at an accident on East Pickerel Road near South 120th. When deputies were investigating this incident, another vehicle slid off the road and into a ditch about 500 feet away. Both cars had to be towed out of the area. Good news, no reports of any injuries. Now to a couple of crime stories out of Grand Island, including a standoff involving children.
Police say around 2 a.m., Joseph Wetzel locked himself in a room with at least 3 children and a knife. Wetzel allegedly threatened 6 people with that knife and cut at least one of those people. Police say they negotiated with him and he eventually left the home with 2 kids in his arms. Wetzel was taken into custody for several charges.
Several teenagers are facing charges for a robbery at gunpoint in Grand Island. 18-year-old Rodolfo Penaflor and 3 other teens were arrested. Police say they stole $300 from some other teens after threatening them with a gun and firing off 1 round. Authorities are also investigating a robbery that happened here in Lincoln.
It happened around 12:30 Tuesday morning near 27th and W Streets. An 18-year-old told police that he was pulled from his vehicle at gunpoint by 2 unknown men. He said the suspects then left the area in that vehicle, which is worth about $3,000. The Nebraska State Patrol is continuing their special enforcement operation this week during the Boys State High School basketball tournament, which runs through Saturday.
During the girls' tournament last week, troopers say they arrested 12 people for drunk driving. In fact, one person blew a .427. That's more than 5 times the legal limit. They say they also stopped 19 drivers for speeding at more than 100 miles per hour. And speaking of traveling, Mexico is always a popular destination for many Americans.
But some may be reconsidering after 4 people were kidnapped at gunpoint just over the Texas border over the weekend, and then 2 of them were found dead. So is it safe to travel to Mexico? Channel 8's Veronica Barreto has more tonight. Veronica?
The U.S. State Department had previously issued 6 level 4 do not travel warnings to parts of Mexico, but they say there are also places in Mexico that are safer for travelers. A travel agent in Nebraska says Mexico is one of the most popular destinations for his clients. He says people should be as prepared as possible ahead of their trips when it comes to safety. He says people should avoid the border towns and follow the U.S. State Department's recommendations.
Find your travel agent that you like, ask questions. Is it safe? Would you go there personally? Would you send your family there? Asking the right questions, just preparing yourself as much as possible before you travel.
He says the safest way to travel is by airplane. He also says when you book with an agent, you receive all the information you need before getting to your destination. And coming up at 6 o'clock, I will have much more information and tips on what things travelers should keep in mind when visiting Mexico and other countries.
Thank you very much, Veronica. Looking forward to the rest of your story tonight. Today, candidates running for various city seats will be discussing some of the most pressing matters they'll address if elected. It involves those running for Lincoln's mayor and city council seats.
The topic tonight, environmental issues and sustainability. It will be a chance for voters to learn more about the candidates. It gets underway here in about 50 minutes at 6 o'clock tonight. It's being held at the Lincoln Firefighters Reception Hall. For more information, you can visit links we mentioned on our website, KOCANTV.com. For those of you who don't know, March is Colorectal Cancer Awareness Month, and doctors recommend that you begin regular screenings at the age of 45.
One man shared his story to talk about the importance of getting that screening. 46-year-old Warren Thick says he had no symptoms of colorectal cancer, but his wife encouraged him to get a preventative screening anyway. When he went in for his check, they found a cancerous polyp. Thankfully, it was detected early and a surgeon was able to remove it. Doctors told him if he had waited to get his colonoscopy even one more year, the prognosis could have been very different.
Either A, it would have killed me, or B, yeah, I would have had to go through a lot of radiation, a lot of chemo to fix it. And they say colon cancer is the second leading cause of death as far as cancer goes, and not only in Nebraska, but I think the whole country right now. So, it's definitely something it's one of the easiest things to fix if you catch it early enough. But yeah, if you let it go, it's just like anything else, it'll kill you.
For that regular testing, you can do a colonoscopy or an at-home test, which can prevent up to 80% of colon cancer deaths. The Nebraska Department of Health and Human Services is hoping $25 million in grants will help the state's rural emergency services.
The money is coming from the American Rescue Plan Act. There's $5 million that can be used for buying emergency medical equipment. There's also $20 million for rural departments to replace old ambulances. The Department of Health and Human Services is taking applications right now to receive funding from both programs. Coming up, Norfolk Southern CEO testified before Congress today, vowing to make things right in East Palestine, Ohio.
We'll have that story and your full forecast after the break. Top Republican in the U.S. Senate is in the hospital after a serious fall last night.
Mitch McConnell, the Senate Minority Leader, tripped and fell at a private dinner event. It happened at the Waldorf Astoria Hotel in Washington, D.C. McConnell is being treated for a concussion and will stay in the hospital for a few days for observation and treatment.
I called the leader this morning and spoke briefly with his staff to extend my prayers and well wishes. My thoughts are also with Leader McConnell's family and his team. I join every single one of my colleagues in wishing Leader McConnell a speedy and full recovery.
McConnell was first elected to the Senate back in 1984 and is currently the longest-serving GOP leader in the Senate. Well, today, Norfolk Southern CEO Alan Shaw testified before Congress vowing to make things right in East Palestine, Ohio.
This comes more than a month after the hazardous train derailment there. The EPA says they've had boots on the ground since the accident, checking to make sure the area is safe for residents. They say their tests show the water and air are safe, and recent soil tests show very low levels of pollutants like dioxins.
Now on Capitol Hill, Ohio Senator J.D. Vance is pleading with Republicans to back the people of East Palestine. This while senators on the Environment and Public Works Committee are demanding answers for how Norfolk Southern is going to make this right.
Senator, we're going to do what's right for the citizens of East
What's right is to cover their health care needs. Will you do that?
Everything is on the table, sir.
This comes on the heels of several other Norfolk Southern derailments, including a second one that happened in Ohio. The Department of Transportation is sending out an order to the owners of the Keystone Pipeline.
TC Energy is being told to lower the pressure of the crude oil pumping through the line. Regulators said more spills are likely to cause serious harm if operations don't change. They also said they will review how the company handles spills. This order comes after the investigation into the second largest inland spill in the lower 48 states, where more than 500,000 gallons of crude oil emptied out of the Keystone XL pipeline near the Kansas-Nebraska border.
Now, your Storm Alert team forecast with Chief Meteorologist Rusty Dawkins.
We got some snowfall this morning. It was mixed with rain in some spots and others just snow. But if it had just been all snow for everybody, these totals would have been a lot higher. But half an inch to almost an inch and a half near North Platte, half an inch near Alliance, and 1 inch in the southwestern corner of the Panhandle. We'll zoom into a couple of different spots. And when it says Hastings 0.7 E, that means 0.7 miles east of Hastings. 1 inch. 1 inch near Lawrence, about half an inch near Red Cloud. In southeast Nebraska, about 1 inch near Dawson, 1.3 near Brownville, Fairbury, about a half an inch, just over an inch near Friend. Lincoln, south about 5 or 6 miles west-southwest of the center of Lincoln, so about an inch. Half an inch near Malcolm. Elmwood, one report of 3 inches. So that's about what the forecast had. Anywhere from a half an inch to an inch was expected for most of us, and that's kind of what we got. Mostly cloudy skies out there right now. Notice, even though I woke up this morning and everybody had a white coating of snow everywhere, and now it's all melted off. So that's March in Nebraska for you. The temperature warm enough to melt that snow, 37 degrees, 38 in Beatrice, 35 in Wahoo. Everybody is above the freezing mark. Not by much. It's still chilly out there, but at least everybody's above freezing. A little bit of a northwest wind at 10 to 20 miles per hour does give us a wind chill that's mainly in the 20s. A lot of cloud cover out there right now, and every now and then you see it like just a blip of white showing up, so there's still a little moisture out there, some drizzle a possibility, maybe a snowflake or two in some spots, but most of this is now coming to an end. All of that snow, you can see it into parts of Iowa, taking with it that snowfall as it moves to the east. So we're left with partly cloudy skies and to mostly cloudy skies. Now that cloud cover should thin out as we head through the overnight and into the early morning hours as it comes back in. Now we've got a chance for some precipitation after Friday. It starts off to the west. Notice it's trying to get itself together, get its act together. Until then, I think we'll just see anywhere from partly to mostly cloudy skies. This is Friday at noon. Not much going on, but this will start to change. There it is. Starts off as rain, tries to move east as we head into Friday night. So it starts to the west, makes its way east. And I think by Saturday morning, we start to see a little light mixed precipitation first. This is 6 a.m. Saturday. Here's the bulk of it, right about here, from North Platte to Grand Island to O'Neill. This all slides to the east, and I think by noon on Saturday, it starts to exit the region. So I think from about 9 to noon is the best chance on Saturday for some precipitation. Could be rain, could be mixing in a couple of snowflakes, and I think as we get into the afternoon hours, everything pushes off to the east. Temperatures tonight in the lower, middle, maybe the upper 20s. We'll say 26, lingering drizzle. Kind of a cloudy evening. That cloud cover will hang on for the day tomorrow. High temperatures will struggle because of it. We'll say 41, mostly cloudy, chilly degrees, 41 degrees, northeast wind at 5 to 15 miles per hour. 7-day forecast, that rain possible on Saturday could mix in with a few snowflakes. We changed the clocks on Sunday, and as we spring forward, and 43 degrees on Sunday, sunshine, mostly sunny skies on Monday and Tuesday, and the temperature should rebound nicely by Tuesday and Wednesday. We're looking finally at temperatures above average, 56 on Tuesday, 61 beautiful degrees on Wednesday, and then we cool back down. That's March for you. We go up, we don't go down, we go up, we go down. Chance for rain, chance for snow. This is one of those months where everything's on the table.
Yeah, that snow really melted pretty quickly this morning. It was
Really
here and then it
fast.
wasn't.
Right, and as you've been saying, Rusty, we've all been saying, just any precip right now is very much appreciated.
We need every drop.
All right, thank you very much, Rusty. A negative day on Wall Street, the Dow falling 544 points. NASDAQ is down 238. S&P also losing 74. Here are your numbers. You're watching Channel 8, Nebraska's trusted news source.
Tonight.
Anyone can be a Barbie girl or boy today because it's National Barbie Day. Created by Ruth Handler and named after her daughter Barbara, Handler wanted the toy to let girls dream big.
That's right. Barbie has had 200 careers, including astronaut, surgeon, pilot, nurse, reporter, and even presidential candidate. Here's another fun fact. In 1962, Barbie purchased her first dream house before women were even allowed to open up their own bank accounts. And she traveled to space in 1965, 4 years before the actual moon landing. So there you go, Barbie. And where's Ken? But anyway, did you big Barbie fan? When you were
Oh, huge. I'm not exaggerating. I had probably 200 of them.
Wow.
And only 2 kins. But there were like 200 Barbies. But my mom has kept all of them.
That could be worth money.
Well, I was going to give them to Aurora.
Aww.
For her to play with when she's a little older and interested in
And
them.
when she's done, then you can sell them, right?
If they're still together.
And in good shape, right? Arms not torn off or something like that.
Have you seen the Barbie Life in the Dream House show, that cartoon kind of thing?
No, I haven't.
Fantastic. Absolutely worth your time. My daughter watched it for a little while, and if you love Barbie, it's funny, and it's not as sappy as you might think it would be. It's a great show.
What's it called again for our viewers?
Barbie Life in the Dream House.
Something I never thought I'd hear Rusty talking about on the news.
Movie
I know,
movie critic Rusty. Yes.
Wow.
It's not a movie, it's a show. It's
A show,
episode after episode, and they're quick and witty, and it's really fun. Here's a look at your Penner Bathing Solutions camera in Aurora. We've got cloudy skies. If there was snow on the ground, it has since melted away. The wind is not really moving too fast. The flags are still out there, though. 37 in Lincoln and Beatrice, a touch cooler in Columbus at 33, Aurora at 34, along with York. And one of the cool spots on the map is Norfolk at 30 degrees. Plenty of cloud cover out there right now, maybe a raindrop or a snowflake every now and then, but most of that has since moved off to the east. Your forecast for tonight, we're going to see temperatures drop into the 20s, and then we'll bounce back into the lower 40s Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Another chance for some rain showers, especially the first half of the day on Saturday, maybe lingering into early Saturday afternoon. And then we dry out on Sunday. And hour by hour for Friday, we're looking at temperatures starting off in the middle 20s and eventually getting into the middle 30s by noon. We top out about 15 degrees cooler than average. We should be in the, well, maybe 10 degrees cooler than average. We should be in the lower 50s this time of year, and then back down into the 30s by tomorrow evening.
All right, thank you, Rusty, and thank you so much for joining us.
World News Tonight is up next, and we'll see you right back here at 6 o'clock.
With the Channel 8 News mobile app, you'll be the first to know. Get alerts about breaking news and weather, all in the palm of your hand.
Amigos Seafood is back with crisp crab rangoon and new crisp lobster roll burritos, fish and shrimp tacos, and butterfly shrimp baskets too. It's seafood season at Amigos.
Closed captioning on Channel 8 Eyewitness.